Look at this film. What's your first impression or thought on this? This is a Dixon experimental sound film, and it's being called as first gay film. But look at the scene. It does not even contain any sexual depiction in it, other than the normal, social scene of two men dancing together. The film, however, shocked audience with its subversion of conventional male behavior. Throughout history, the depiction of LGBTQ or queer representations in films have experienced big changes and evolutions. In this video, I will focus on film's early depictions of sexuality and gender identity, particularly in the time period from the late 19th century until the end of World War II. In the book called Gender Trouble, Judith Butler argued that our sexual or gender identities are constructed through power relations. Butler also mentions the gender binary is reinforced through our everyday activities. From the early tropes and patterns established in the films, we can see there's a clear misconception when presenting the queer people. We see the depiction of effeminate men in vaudeville as jokes.
Boys will be boys. Woo!
Some gender inversion productions also introduce the tropes of the mannish woman as a foil to the leading woman.
Watch out for her, she likes to wrestle.
Charlie Chaplin's A Woman is one of the most notable gender inversion productions in the pre-code era, in which Chaplin dresses as a woman and plays with the affections of men. The early films also constructed the stereotypical tropes of the sissy, with desexualized characters.
Here, Clarence, put that in the trunk. And don't wear it.
Selfish.
However, after posing the production code by Hollywood in 1930, LGBTQ characters remained taboo. For decades after they were allowed to appear on screen, their sexuality and gender was rooted in small visual cues, and these characters are always being presented as morally corrupted.
Please don't come any closer.
In John Hudson's hyper-masculine movie, although the homosexuality remains vague, the character Carol is extremely feminine in his voice, appearance, and body language, and is also portrayed as a main antagonist. But are there certainly no rooms for queers in the early cinema? The film, different from the others, is considered to be the oldest surviving film with a homosexual lead. The film was created when German censorship was relaxed for a while after World War I and centered a violinist who committed suicide after getting blackmailed for his sexuality. It might be shocking to see the direct portrait of same-gender kiss so early at that time, but in a way to attract the audience back to the theaters in the pre-code area, many filmmakers like to depict the unconventional scenes of the homosexual characters to shock the audience. Despite the intentions of these depictions, the kisses themselves stand strong for queer visibility and representations in the film history. With more portraits of queers on screen, the historians start to shift from focusing on queers within the frame to the ones outside, who hold the camera. From film pioneer Louis Weber to Mabel Normand, Hollywood presented female talent in the early 20th century. But Dorothy Arzner wasn't only one of the successful female directors. She was also a woman who led a transparent lesbian existence in early Hollywood. Arzner produced numerous famous works including the early talkie, The White Party, and Dance Girl Dance. Although there were numerous stereotypes when representing queer people in the early films, Some unconventional practice and filmmakers at that time established the essential footstool for our more diverse depictions on marginalized people till now.